Hello, right? Today I'm going to talk about a difficult subject, freedom. And basically how you can't really impart freedom, mainly because you've already got it. And I can't give you something you've already got. It's the world we live in. It is free, right? You can do what you want, right? And you choose not to do certain things that you want to do because there's a higher order of want. Like, say, you don't choose to go out and steal from the shops because you want to maintain liberty and because the government's got this hard thing called cops that are going to come and take that away from you if you go and snatch that packet of crisps. Another reason why I can't impart to you freedom is that freedom is the ability to do what you want, right? And I can't teach you that you can do what you want by telling you what to do. You could kind of, say you give me authority, say I masquerade as God for a second, and I say to you, look, right, you little thing, you best toe the line, and if you don't, I'm gonna fuck you up, right? And then, so with that threat over your head, you cower a bit, and you might step out of line, and you might discover something when you do, that no bolt of lightning comes down for you, right? And you might toe the line, you might walk the path, you might walk that straight and narrow path and get leukemia, or some other really heinous disease, right? God causes the rain to fall on the good and the bad, you know. Reality is the same no matter how you behave. No matter how much of a good boy you've been, if you drop a couple of 1,000 feet without a parachute, slap. It don't care what you've done. It don't care what you think about it either. And it's that indifference which gives us our freedom. Look at how sacred and sanctified I am. I'm so pure with my big old can of energy drink. But so in a sense you can kind of come to see the freedom you're in when you do the thing that you're scared of doing, and the big bad thing that you're scared of happening because of doing that thing doesn't happen. And you can also kind of see the freedom that you exist in when you don't do anything wrong and the big bad thing that you're scared of happening happens anyway. And there are two ways that you can learn this thing. So in a sense I could maybe impart freedom to you by telling you what to do and having you disobey me. And that's the kind of story that's going on in Scripture. In the book of Genesis, in the first 3 chapters, you've got what's called the fall of man, right? And God says he made man in his own image, in his own likeness. And then he tells Adam and Eve, don't you eat of that tree. And then they eat of the tree, right? Lo and behold, they're disobedient. And then God stands back and he goes, behold, they have become altogether as one of us, to know good and evil, right? So after the disobedience, they were more like God than they were before. It's showing you the guru game. He pushes you he puts you under his authority, or allows you to put yourself under his authority, just so that he can get you to the manly stage where you stand on your own 2 feet. That's the whole story of Scripture, by the way. That's what the gospel's all about. The gospel is where, first of all, you're put under the authority, and then you realise the authority's a load of crap, and you come out of it into freedom. That's the gospel in a nutshell. And that's what most religious doctrines are talking about. That's why things like moksha and enlightenment are also called liberation, you know. Freedom is key to this, the religious and mystical experience. But there are traps along the way. There's a path that you walk, whether you like it or not. So a lot of people, like children especially, when they're growing up, they fall into the trap, which I would like to call the reverse psychology trap. You know, where I want you to do something, and in order to manipulate you into doing what I want you to do, I tell you to do the opposite of what I want you to do. And so the reverse psychology trap, from the individual's perspective who's under it, it's a bit like, I'm a rebel, I want to be free, I ain't going to do what you tell me to. And so the mind turns that into a command and says, I'm going to do the exact opposite of what you tell me to, right? And that's not freedom, is it? You're still following a command. And then is freedom not following commands? No, sometimes you can follow commands. I choose to at work. I just be a doormat because it's easier. It's much easier to do what you're told than to tell people what to do. Because you've got to think about what it is you're telling them to do. And I don't like that. I like to just sit back and just be me and just like go away with the fairies. Anyway, yeah, it's a good one, isn't it? Goodbye.